Okay, so let's do a little bit wrap up here now. We talked about the explicit formula for an arithmetic sequence and the explicit formula for a geometric sequence. We're going to use those two formulas to help us out on doing a little bit more practice then. So what we're going to technically do is go back a lesson to lesson 2, I should say, where we had pasted into our book the sequence and the matching graph. And at the bottom of that, as I go back to that particular page, it was this page right here from the previous lesson. Page 121 is where we started. And we had pasted in here sequence B with graph 4. And that was coming from the previous pages right here, okay? So we had already pasted that in. And now today what we're going to do is write the explicit formula for each one. Recursive formula, we'll talk about it. It's not anything crazy. Just keep doing what you've been doing. But the explicit formula is what I want to focus on. So for this page 121, we had pasted in their sequence B. Look at what you typed in there, okay? For sequence B, we had said that it was arithmetic, and it had a starting number of, let me write that down. It had a starting number of -4, and then had a common difference of 2, we said. So when I write that for my explicit formula for an arithmetic, it's this formula right here. Okay, so I'm going to copy that because we're going to keep using that. Copy. So for the explicit formula here, plug in your first term, plug in your common difference, and that formula now is our explicit. Okay, the recursive is a little weird. It's just taking the previous term plus 2. So I'm not too worried about the recursive. Just keep doing what you're doing, okay? All right, for the next page, we posted sequence E. All right. Using our formula for E, we had said the first term was 4. It has a common difference of -9/4. Okay, so for here was 4 with a common difference of -9/4. And there is our explicit formula. Just got to know the starting point, got to know how you're moving. For the next page, we had posted in sequence H because that was arithmetic. And on here, the first term, when we look at that H, was -20. Common difference of 4. I bring it together, and we say -20 plus 4 times n minus 1. Okay. And then for the next page, K. Okay, keep using that explicit formula. Got to know what the first term is, 6.5. Got to know how you're moving. We said subtract 1.5. Bring it all together. There we go. Okay, sequence N for the arithmetic was the next page. Okay, N, 1473.2, 1473.2. And then we said we were subtracting 28.5. So for this one, bring it together, the starting term and how you're moving, common difference. Okay, we finally get into our geometric sequences. So we have been doing all the arithmetic, and for geometric, let me write that a little bit better. Got to know what the first term is, got to know what the common ratio is. So we're going to use that now, carry it through for all the geometric sequences. If I could select it, copy. So on this page, we had said sequence A. Sequence A starts at 45, we had stated, and the common ratio we had said was multiplied by 2. So this is going to be 45 times 2 to the n minus 1. Okay. Next page, we had pasted in sequence C. So the first term for sequence C was -2 with a common ratio we had said was of 3. So -2 times 3 to the n minus 1. Next page, we had said sequence F. The first term was 1, 2, 3, 4. With a common ratio we had said of 1/10. 1, 2, 3, 4 times 1/10. And I like to really use parentheses when I see a fraction like that. Next page is J. First term on sequence J, let me go find it, was -5 with a common ratio of 1/2. So bring it together, common ratio of 1/2. Okay, next sequence was M. You should be able to definitely see the idea here by now. Common ratio we said was a -1/4, right? Yep, -1/4. Okay. Sequence of P. P, we started off at -4 with a common ratio of -3. Bring it all together. And I like to use parentheses when it's negative. Okay, so that actually wraps up everything, okay? So we did that, we got a little practice on that, so check the class calendar over the last day or two. Make sure you're doing those assignments. Feel free to do it on a separate piece of paper. You don't need to have a hard copy on there. Just do it on a separate sheet, check your answers. And then Mathia, up through Unit 6 is where you should be.